So we have a top games list for PS4, and this this is opinion based for essentially for Black Friday, maybe even a little bit into December because a couple of the games, they're not releasing yet until December. But we're going to start out with PlayStation 4, and some of these games will, include the PS4 Pro. I'm not 100% which ones do not, but we'll have to look at that in a different video, I suppose.
Yep.
So I've been anticipating this particular game for quite some time. I think, what has it been, 9 years? The Last Guardian is my number one pick for PlayStation 4.
Yep, that's one of my picks as well.
I I remember it being shown off many, many years ago for PS3, and I was like, that's awesome. I got to buy a PS3 for that.
Now, did you play
Uh,
Shadow of the Colossus or Ico?
I have played them. I have not beaten them,
Okay.
however, and actually the ones that I played are the HD
Yep.
remasters.
That's
But
probably a better way.
I do have them for PS2 as well. So, but it looks fantastic. Um, a lot of people I've seen online are worried that it's gonna have like more of an old school type gameplay. It hasn't been as hyped up as No Man's Sky, so I don't know that people will get like super disappointed. But
Yeah.
there's room for disappointment.
Well, here's
Uh,
the thing. It's like when it's in development for essentially 10 years, it it's going to disappoint people. There's no way around it.
yeah, well, look at Duke Nukem Forever. That
Yeah.
disappointed everybody.
I didn't mind it so much. It's flawed, but whatever. We'll
Yeah.
discuss that sometime. But with The Last Guardian, I think like every E3 for the last 10 years, I've been waiting anxiously to see more and more and more. And
Yeah.
then when the PS4 came out, I was just like, man, is Last Guardian canceled? And then now this is happening. It's actually coming out.
Well, see, here's the thing though that shocked me because there was a while where they lost the trademark and they lost like the domain name or something. And I was like, "Oh my God, I guess it's not coming out."
Well, yeah, and the lead designer, can't remember his first name, but it's Ueda.
Yeah.
He left Team Ico and he said he was continuing work on The Last Guardian on a contract
Contractor.
basis.
Yeah.
And that had me worried. It's like, okay, maybe they're finishing it up, but then like here we are years later, and he's still apparently been working on it. It's gone gold recently, I know that, but so
Yeah.
it's done officially. But it's like I don't think I could be disappointed. I honestly
Uh,
don't.
I'm not going to be.
Like
Um,
Shadow of the
unless,
Colossus was a flawed game, but man, is it good!
yeah.
It's one of the best Zelda games that's not a Zelda game. Seriously.
And you know what, too, just to show how good that he is as a developer and leader of development, Shadow of Colossus on PS2, when you play it in 1080i, looks so gorgeous and so incredible. I mean, if you were playing it like that, someone could mistaken it for the HD remaster.
Yeah.
It just at first glance. Obviously, if you look closer and seen that the animations are still kind of like 24 frames a second or something,
Yeah.
but it just goes to show how great, and then Ico, that game's incredible too.
See, now I have the collection, but I haven't played Ico yet. I'm waiting for a day or a weekend where I can sit down and just play the whole thing.
Well, it's I've only played like the first level or so, and just like that game right there, Last Guardian shows me that there's a lot of similarities there, and it's I don't know. They're all of those games are just fantastic. I have no complaints at all, except for time. I
Yeah,
don't have enough of it to play
I
them,
know.
and like I've got a lot of games that I kind
Yeah.
of have on that list of I need to get this. I want to play this and finish it, but there's adulthood.
Yes. So, get The Last Guardian, comes out in December.
Yeah.
Just try to play that one.
And my next game on the list, which I think we shared, is Dishonored 2. Now, as of recording this video, it comes out tomorrow. Um, I would pick it up. However, due to my daughter about to arrive, any day now, I
It's
can't really spend any
not
money.
great timing for a game.
No, game system, all
Yeah.
this stuff. I can't get PSVR because of it, although I'm waiting anyway. But yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
then
Now, with Dishonored, did you play the first one?
I have never completed it though, so that's another thing is I gotta
Goodness.
I tell you what, about 90% of my collection I've started, never completed.
Yeah. Well, that's
I
probably more
I
than I
I,
could say.
I get distracted.
Yep. Well, responsibilities. Damn them. I
Well,
actually had Dishonored sitting on my Steam account for probably a good year and a half before I was like,
uh
I gotta try this game out. And once I started, I did not stop until the very, very end, and it is just like incredible.
no, it's great. I was playing it on the PS3, and I know I'm past halfway. The game is fantastic.
Yeah,
And I want to get the Dishonored remastered edition
yeah.
and play through that with the better the better resolution and stuff.
I had the good fortune of actually playing it in 1440p on my 4K TV, and I actually played through the whole thing with the Steam controller, and that was a remarkable experience. Like the first level was kind of rough getting used to it, but after that, that's part of the reason I want to get it again on Steam rather than console.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah,
So
we're looking forward to that one together.
next game that I have on the list, and I don't think you had told me this one, was Watch Dogs 2. Um,
Yeah,
it for me it looks like a huge improvement over the first one. Um, I actually never played the first one because of the whole E3. Look how incredibly gorgeous this is, and then it came out and it wasn't. I was pissed. Um,
so,
so
okay. I share that sentiment with the graphics. It did not look as good as the E3 original trailer was. That being said, I think that the change in tone just totally ruins Watch Dogs 2 for me. Like, that's one game I'm not looking forward to because of the change. Like, it'll probably be a better game, but to be honest, that's not really like a high bar. First one wasn't great, but it's average.
mm,
So I don't know. I guess we differ on that one. I think that the change in tone is just too generic anymore. Like it's I don't know. I guess people said that about the first one, but I like the tone in the first one better.
well, the next few games here are already released.
Hmm.
Uh, Probably within the last month and a half.
Hey, before you start that, because those are already out, and I have at least one of those for that list too. I want to mention one game I'm looking forward to. That's
Okay.
Final Fantasy 15. That game looks
Yeah.
freaking awesome. It looks really
Um,
good.
on a graphics standpoint, I think it's could probably be one of the best looking games to date. But I've never played any Final Fantasy game. I'm not into turn-based
You heard
stuff.
that, guys. Hit those comments.
I do realize that the new ones, they're not really turn-based so much anymore.
Eh,
But
depends. I don't know. Depends on the game. Each one is wildly different than the last, for in a lot of ways. But this
I'm
one,
interested in checking it out, though.
I think this one really, it feels like they got the right idea. They've talked about how they're designing it to appease longtime Final Fantasy fans as well as newcomers. So like the combat system has a lot of familiar aspects that Final Fantasy fans should appreciate, but at the same time it introduces a lot more stuff that gamers of today would come to expect. Like so it's a lot more action oriented rather than turn based. It might be turn based, but it doesn't look like it. So if it is, they hit it well, as far as I can tell. But either way, that game doesn't come out for till the end of November. So I think it looks awesome. This is probably the first Final Fantasy I've planned to pick up since the original Final Fantasy 13. I never messed with its sequels because 13, I liked it, but it just put me off. So now for the games that you were going to bring up, they're already out but deserve some attention.
I'm kind of torn between actually these three games of which one that I'm going to rank higher. Now, I do not have either of these. Again, baby reasons. But I'm going to go ahead and go in order of release. Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, and of course the brand new Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and also the combo pack that comes with the Modern Warfare Remastered. Now, I know you share the same feeling with me. Originally, we were like kind of pissed off that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare was going into space, and they kind of, it was like a brief teaser trailer, and we're like, oh, now this. But then at E3 this year, they showed off a lot of the campaign, and we're like, what game is this?
Yeah.
What is this? And then all of a sudden, they tell you what it is, and we're like, no fucking shit, there's no way. This looks incredible.
And that very same stuff put off so many people.
I know.
I know the early sales
funny.
figures are, I don't quote me, but I believe it was like in the first week, Infinite Warfare sold 25% compared to the last year's Call of Duty game for the same time period.
Well, some of the people were going to kind of, and they were going to kind of boycott Call of Duty because they were making it so if you wanted Modern Warfare remastered, you had to get it this way. Well, that's kind of bullshit. I mean, I'm waiting until they actually Black Friday. They might have it, at a much lesser value.
Yeah, I've already seen it on sale in the ads for I want to say $60 with the Modern Warfare remaster. So that's awesome. That's better.
And then for me, Battlefield 1 overall looks like a better game, and I did play the beta for that, and I thought it was fantastic.
Same here. My store, now obviously I'm not there 24/7, so this is not this doesn't speak volumes necessarily, but I can honestly say I've sold way, way, way more copies of Battlefield 1 than I have Call of Duty. Far and away more. And we got way more copies of Call of Duty than we did Battlefield 1. So I think the tides are turning now.
Well, here's the thing, too. And if this is indeed the case, where the sales numbers are that, we're not selling that well, and Battlefield 1's selling incredible, we need to get away from this futuristic shit, and we need to go back. I personally, I'd like to see more World War II. I know
I would
Battlefield 1 is
not.
World War One, but
I would.
uh,
I don't want to see any more World War II for a long time. I still feel burnt from like the PS2 era where every game was World War II. Like I've seen enough like brown and gray in my games. I'm
you can
good.
have World War II with some color. Come on now.
Oh, that's just nonsense. You can't have that. That's not World War II anymore. Then it's Happy Land Fun Time with shooting.
Well, Battlefield 1, though, I mean, being that it is World
It
War
is
One,
colorful, yes.
and it looks
In case the viewers didn't
fantastic.
figure out, I was being super sarcastic. Battlefield 1 does look awesome. It plays awesome based on the beta, anyway.
Yeah.
I only played that desert level. I don't know if that's the only one that they had.
Uh,
Maybe they had one other for. Because I think I was playing Rush. I think they had a
I
map for Conquest or something.
I think I only played the desert one as well,
Either
but
way, I liked it. Like
I only played for a couple hours, and then I was like, yeah, I'm good enough.
So now
So
Titanfall 2.
yeah, I am
Uh,
actually I played the alpha and the beta for that,
I
and
I didn't even know they happened. So I
and
missed that part.
I was impressed big time. Like I played Titanfall 1 on the Xbox 360. That was well before I had the Xbox One.
That's
And
considered a good port, though, right? Like
yeah,
generally.
it was very good, and visually it was really good too. The only thing it lacked, in my opinion, besides resolution, was the cloud-based particle effects and
Yeah.
all the AI and everything that the cloud was supposed to compute. But I didn't really think it needed it. I thought the game was good. It's just I'm more of a storyline person. I want to play a story first.
Yeah. Now, it's my story with that is very short. Is just that I was interested in Titanfall when I first saw it. I was not super down on Call of Duty quite yet, and I knew that the guys that were making it were Infinity Ward guys who had left
Yeah.
to do start Respawn and make Titanfall. But I did not have an Xbox One, and at the time, I think my 360 was on the fritz because the DVD drive just quit.
Oh.
And so I pretty much boycotted Xbox for a long period of time because of that. Because it wasn't that old. It was only like 2.5, maybe 3 years old, and the drive quit. So anyway, it's fixed now. But I ended up finding Titanfall on Origin for $5. I was like, oh, I'll check it out for $5. And damn, that's some great multiplayer. But
Yeah.
like you, I wish it had some story. But
Yeah. So
Titanfall 2
now,
does. So
yeah, and it from what I hear, it's kind of short, like 6 hours or something.
but very like light and fun kind of.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, that's fine. I actually prefer the campaigns that are about 6 hours. I want to be able to kind of complete it in a day and then still have a day left to go do stuff.
Yeah, I'm not 15 anymore. I can't just do that all day.
And I can't drink Mountain Dew either, so.
That's true.
But so those are the three, and then here's some. This is not necessarily a game, but I'm including PlayStation VR on this list because it's such a big deal for VR, and in my opinion, PlayStation is really going to push VR forward. Now, personally, I'm not buying one yet. I'm going to get it probably in the spring, but the price range is fantastic. There are some games for it currently. I don't know if it's enough to really say, "Hey, go spend that kind of money." Was it $400 for everything?
hmm
But that's still a great price either way.
So
But
yeah,
I wanted to include it on there because I know there are a lot of people that want it, and I do think it could be good Christmas time purchases. And by then, there may actually be more games for it. I haven't looked at the VR list yet,
right.
so yeah.
So PlayStation VR obviously it has the best price and everything, but I feel like it's still way too much for me. Like, I can't see spending $400 on just that, an add-on for my console. But that being said, there's a few experiences that have me really, really, really interested. Um, the most of which is actually the Star Trek game.
Yeah.
Because, man, just to be on the bridge and being part of a crew, like, made up of real players, presumably, and interacting in this space that represents a starship, it's like, that is really cool. As a fan of the shows, that's freaking awesome. If it turns out great, I don't know, but I so want it, and that's probably the main driving force behind me wanting to get into VR at all. That and stuff like Resident Evil 7 and
Yep.
Until Dawn, the was it Festival of Blood or something it's called.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine like Until Dawn in VR.
I actually
I need to buy diapers to play that game.
that some depends. I actually am really excited for the next Gran Turismo because they're definitely,
VR.
they're going to have VR, and man, that's just
Project Cars, I would like to see that with
yeah,
VR too. And that's already
uh,
enabled on PC.
yeah. They have it. I think I saw it. No, I was Drive Club VR is out.
Yeah, that is.
And that actually, I mean, that game looks gorgeous. So
Well,
in VR, it's probably gonna be
well, I
fantastic
know on PC, Project Cars has it
for the
works
Vive.
with Vive and
And
Oculus Rift.
oh,
So
okay.
at least I think it's Oculus. I'm pretty sure it's Vive for sure. I don't know. I have to double check. I don't really pay attention. I see the little
So
icons.
the next set of games that we have, I'm gonna call them some honorable mentions. Some of these come out quite a while ago already, but this year.
Hmm.
Um, so I know you have a game or two, so I'll let you go ahead and say yours.
Yeah. As far as the honorable mentions go, I actually am gonna go with some of what you picked because those two cannot be ignored. That would be Uncharted 4, perhaps most of all. Like, don't skip it. Don't ignore it.
No. Plus, with the upgrades they just released for the
Yeah, no
PS4
kidding.
Pro,
I can't imagine that
uh,
game looking better. That's insane.
yeah,
But in addition to that, Doom.
yeah.
That is a
Um,
fantastic game right there. So
I,
fun.
I'll tell you what, and this is this is kind of habit from when you buy too many games and
Mm-hmm.
you also don't necessarily have time to play them.
Yep.
I bought Doom. This is kind of funny. The day it came out, I went to GameStop. I wasn't planning on buying Doom. I was actually buying PS3 games to put in the collection because they had like the 4 for 20 or whatever. Well, I saw Doom for PS4 used, and I was like, "All right, how much is this?" And they wanted like $32. I bought it. So I've had it since launch, and or since it came out. I installed it, and that's it.
Well, that's a
Now
damn shame.
it is because I was in the alphas, I was in the two betas, and multiplayer with that. Which I'm not big into multiplayer, but that brought me back to yesteryear when Doom, well, not Doom, but when Quake 3 and Unreal Tournament were the kings,
Yeah.
and it just reminded me so much of Doom in Unreal Tournament that I'm like, this is great. And it's like my skills from back then started to come back.
Yeah.
And the only thing though is, at least in the alpha, they like some of the weapons were maybe messed up, but I think they fixed those. And of course, I haven't played since the beta, so I don't know. I need to play it this weekend, I think.
Yeah. Um,
unless nature happens.
right. And I was fortunate enough to first experience Doom on my Steam machine in 1440p, and it ran amazingly well. And played through that one with the Steam controller as well. And it was sweet. I was kind of worried with the touchpad and having such a twitchy shooter, but man, when I went to try to play the PS4 demo, I felt like I was walking through like sludge or something. It's just like so much slower than using the touchpad for everything.
Oh,
It just felt.
just out of curiosity, the or the Steam controller, does it have USB support? You plug it in through USB.
It has USB. I don't know.
Try hooking it up to your PS4
Hmm.
because it does. The PS4 does support PC controllers through USB, just like the PlayStation 3 does. You
Yeah,
might you might actually be able to use it. It's worth
it
the.
reads weird on PC. Like it doesn't read like a 360 controller or any controller for that matter. It's weird. We'll have to talk about that some other time, but I might try it just to see what
Yeah.
happens.
Now, would you already mention? Okay, I'm gonna have to cut that
Edit.
out. Did you already mention Deus Ex?
I did not.
Okay.
So I
Well,
can.
I know you had put Deus Ex: Mankind Divided on there. I personally have not played any of the Deus Ex games. I've been told that since I'm into like sci-fi type
Yeah,
stuff that I need to play those.
yeah.
Well,
It's kind of Blade Runner
I-
the video
uh,
game.
I'll get there one of these days.
It's kind of Blade Runner the video game. Like it's really awesome. It has that very similar tone and mood to Blade Runner, but it also makes me think of Mass Effect quite a bit, minus space. But it's really it's just like it's first person RPG essentially, where there's a lot of choice and consequence going on. That's what the whole series has been about since its beginning. And in my opinion, Human Revolution and Mankind Divided, at least from what little bit I've played of that one so far, are both perfect. Like, absolutely great games. Not perfect games, but really great. They nail the formula perfectly.
Well, I'll definitely have to get into them.
Definitely
But
check them out.
I do want to hear from everybody what games that they feel we missed because I mean there's just so many of them, and
Mm-hmm.
these were just a few off the top of our heads, and maybe that we researched real quick. We do have on the next video clip, you'll be able to check out our Xbox picks. But for right now, these are the PS4, and
And
definitely I'm interested in hearing what everyone says because I always appreciate being able to go pick up some great games to put in the collection there, and one of these days I'll play them.
yeah, same here. I have way too many unplayed games in my collection.
Yeah.
So
So maybe with my daughter being born soon and her eating my wallet, I will essentially just have to play the games I have and go from there.
yeah,
But again, definitely comment and do all that like, subscribe, and fun stuff. And check out the next clip.